Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new to the channel, my name is Sophia and I make book related videos, mainly videos about literary fiction and mystery thriller books, but truly a little bit of everything. And today I am back with my July wrap up. So I only read 6 books in July. It was certainly one of my slower reading months of the year, but it was kind of like a comfort zone for me in a good way. I enjoyed the pace that I was reading. Didn't really enjoy what I was reading so much, but I didn't feel this like pressure. I just picked up what I wanted to pick up. Enjoyed some things, didn't enjoy some things so much, and it just felt like a very comfortable month. However, as I alluded to with that comfort, I didn't have amazing reads. I didn't have a new 5-star, which I was a little bummed about, but solid. I'm excited for August. I think that there could be some things in that bag that month that I'm really going to love and maybe give 5 stars. But before I get too carried away, let's jump in to July's wrap up. So as per usual, I will be doing lowest rated to highest rated. So we'll start with my lowest rated book of the month. So my least favorite book of the month was Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. I don't know, guys. Like, this book has been getting roaring reviews. People love it. I've seen it recommended everywhere: Instagram, YouTube. It's a thriller, a summary thriller. It seemed like it was going to be for me, but I ended up just giving it 3 stars, and honestly, it's pretty forgettable. I don't know that I remember enough about it for it to even be a 3-star. So this is a mystery novel about a daughter who's a novelist who ends up ghostwriting her father's memoir. And her father was accused of murdering his siblings, but has never been tried or actually been in jail for that. But he has long had this suspicion looming over him. And so she dives deeper into this mystery by getting all the documents, talking to him, and ghostwriting his book. It is a great concept. I really thought I would like it. It just felt very run of the mill, very forgettable. And when I was reading it, I didn't really feel that drawn into it. So kind of a middle of the road one for me. Although I do remember the writing itself being pretty solid, so that's why it wasn't rated lower. But ultimately, just a 3-star book. Next, we have Stillhouse Lake by Rachel Caine. This is the first book in a mystery series. It is about, I don't want to tell you too much, but basically it's about a family that come home one day and there's like SWAT teams, police cars, the whole 9 yards at their house. And essentially they find out that dad is a serial killer. He has been killing people in his little like woodshed area for years, and they didn't know. So after that, they moved to this little like housing establishment called Stillhouse Lake. They are trying to get away from all the paparazzi, the drama, the Reddit true crime trolls, and the mom and 2 kids move there. But when they get there, another body turns up in the lake that has the exact same MO as what the father's like victims looked like, essentially, and we go from there. I thought this was pretty readable, very plotty. I did enjoy the concept. I thought that the setup was really good. The end really let me down. I thought I knew what was going to happen the whole time. I was totally wrong. But I feel like my my end was better. Like, I just didn't feel like the end really wrapped up the story in a satisfying way for me. Having said that, I clearly didn't care, like, wasn't too upset about it because I bought the second book in the series, which I'm probably going to read here in the coming months. So yeah, overall, it was solid. It wasn't exceptional, but it was a solid mystery, and I'm intrigued enough that I would read more. So I gave this one also a 3 stars. And next, we have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This is my first release of hers that I've read in a while. I read Seven Husbands a long time ago, and then I read Malibu Rising, which I really hated. And then I hadn't picked up several books of hers between that time and now. So this is a book set in the 1980s and follows a main character named Joan, who is a scientist, and she is in the astronaut training program at NASA. It's about female expectation and females in science, but it also follows closely a sapphic romance between her and one of the other women in the NASA group. I loved the romance. I thought it was really well fleshed out. I was bawling my eyes out at the end. I thought it was just excellent. I just didn't care about the rest of the book. Okay, that's not true. There was another relationship I really liked, which was Joan's relationship with her niece, Frances. I liked this motherly kind of relationship, but also like a mentorship, like women can do whatever they put their mind to type of bond that they had. Particularly the area that I wasn't really invested in was the dynamic between the characters in the NASA group. I just found it boring. I didn't think that they were particularly well developed. It actually did take up a decent amount of the book. So I can't say the page-to-page reading experience was always super entertaining, especially when those characters kept cropping up and I didn't care about them. So unfortunately, even though there were some very high highs of this book, I only gave it a 3.5 stars. The next one is The Perfect Couple by Ellen Hilderbrand. I do have a dedicated review to this that should be out on the channel. So if you want to hear more of my thoughts, I'll link you over there. But this is a murder mystery set on the very posh and upscale island of Nantucket. It takes place one weekend when there's a wedding, and we're following all the different characters involved in the wedding. And basically, the maid of honor is found murdered on the beach at the beginning of the story, and then you're kind of piecing back what happened. I thought this was highly entertaining. I was not shocked or blown away by it, but I was intrigued. I think it was a very solid summer thriller. I started the Netflix series and then got distracted by Sullivan's Creek, Sullivan's River, another Netflix series. But yeah, certainly solid. It just wasn't like gasping, freaking out. It was the most dramatic thing I've ever read. So I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars. Next, we have The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. This is a debut novel that is about a relationship essentially over time. Lillian and Ryan, they meet in college, and then we follow their relationship. Each has very dark secrets, and we're following how it affects their relationship, but also their young daughter, Georgette. It's kind of like nature versus nurture, family dynamics, family trauma are some of the themes. I thought it was super well written for a debut. I was really, really impressed with it. The end felt a little bit rushed, and not all not everything was tied up in the way that I wanted it to be. But the writing and the reading experience was really, really solid. I really enjoyed it. I definitely read more by that author, and I gave it a 4 stars. All right, and my favorite book of the month was The Road to Tender Hearts by Annie Hartnett. This is a very whimsical and heartfelt novel about a man named PJ who is in his 60s. He's really struggling with grief and alcoholism. And then through a series of events, he ends up going on a cross-country road trip with 2 orphan children that he's now responsible for, his daughter Sophie, and a cat who can predict when somebody's going to die. I'll leave it at that. I thought it was so funny, so well written. Like, I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. I literally teared up in the airport security line listening to the end of this audiobook. And usually I'm stressed, not really paying attention, but it just gripped me. Even in that moment, I cared so deeply about it. I did think the end was just a tad rushed, which is why I wasn't able to give it 5 stars. I really wanted to, but super solid read, excellent summer read. I think it would be good for fans of Fredrik Backman if you like his books, because of the way that humor and sadness were balanced so well in here. So yeah, 4.5 stars. All right, those are all the books that I ended up reading in July. I would love to know if you've read any of I would love to know if you've read any of these books, and also what your favorite book of July was. And with that, I will see you guys very soon with another video. Bye.